and good morning. Thank you so much for spending your Friday morning with us. This morning, my name is Nurul Masita and I am the moderator. Today panel is on the Sultan Abu Bakar Museum and it's going to be fantasy. Let me now introduce your panels for today. First is Siti Nofazli. Second is Akmal Nur Azrin, and last is Nur Shafika. Okay. As we already know, the Sultan Abu Bakar Museum is one of the finest heritage buildings preserved in Bandar di Raja Pekan, Pahang Darul Makmur. It is situated in an area that is preserved for its feasibility of history dating back centuries. Original built for British resident in Pahang. It then became the official palace of Sultan Abu Bakar, Sultan of Pahang IB, before being repurposed into what it is now. Okay, I will start to the discussion by posing question that we allocate some of the high level topic and stream that we should consider. Siti Nofazli, I'd like to know your opinion about why we should preserve first the place.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Siti Nofazli binti Zaini, and I will talk about why we should preserve a place or a monument. As we know, civilizations for a nation can be seen by a cultural heritage that has its own identity. So it is worth preserving the addition of historic buildings in our country, but based on the influences of Asian rules such as the Sultan Abu Bakar Museum is full of features of British colonial residents. This can show that our country has a variety of races, cultures, and uniqueness. In addition, it can also be used as a source of research and education. Various knowledge that we can learn from studying and understanding all buildings and monuments, and also the younger generations can not escape from testing and studying artifacts, the life of the royal family through silverware, jewelry, and souvenirs displayed in a museum, and also the way of life in ancient times can feel the history of the time of our ancestors. Next is to preserve these old places and monuments so that it can become the main tourism products of the country by promoting visits for all communities regardless of race or country to experience the uniqueness of history in our country. Thank you.
Thank you for the explanation. So I want to ask Siti Nofazli again. My second question is about how do we preserve cultural heritage in our country?
Okay. Next is how we preserve our cultural heritage. Among them is the role of parents in encouraging their children by taking them on vacation while studying to a historical place to create a sense of respect, care, and appreciate the history of our country. However, in this museum of Sultan Abu Bakar, exhibits a variety of old items that include archaeological materials, history of the Aboriginal communities, ceramic exhibits, and also old relics of cultural art from the East Coast state. So there are various attractions and privileges on display by the Sultan Abu Bakar Museum. In this way, to preserve the cultural heritage is to create a documentary about the beauty and existence of historical places in our country in order to attract the interest of the community, and this can further increase the rate of visitor to obtain fund to preserve the heritage. Sorry. Moreover, with our present time, social media can exert a hard influence of the outside world. With a visit by them, it can provide a sufficient source of income for the management to manage the historic building. So this can make the museum continue to be visited and the cultural heritage remain and not forgotten by the time. Thank you.
Thank you for the explanation. Yes, it appears to be an excellent idea. I agree with your opinion because as a Malaysian people, we must take care of our heritage such as monument, museum and other. Next, I'd like to ask Nur Shafika, may I know what are the objectives preserved in a local museum and how do we educate our children on heritage preservation?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, my name is Nur Shafika binti Muhammad Zerani. Today, I will tell you about the Sultan Abu Bakar Museum. Okay, about the introduce for me, Sultan Abu Bakar Museum is a museum in Pekan, Pahang, Malaysia that are large collection of historic item. Location on Jalan Sultan Ahmad. The museum showcase antiques that include many ancient China items made of glass or pottery. Okay, such well as items relate to natural history, archaeological, ethnological, and royalty. Okay, the next slide. Okay, the first about the capture. Okay, for example, you can see the first capture encountered was a capture of a Buddha statue sitting on the lettuce flower with a apple crackler led by the Dre village or Sungai Lembing, Kuantan, Pahang. Okay, the next slide. You can see I want to explain for you about the two areas. The first area Mesolithic and the next Neolithic. Okay, in addition, in the Mesolithic period there was a meeting of fragment of Hossabinbian stone tool and Hornbian stone axes. Among the archaeological sites of the Mesolithic period that were found were in the city of Tongkat, Jerantut, Gunung Senyum, Temerloh, and Gua Tengkek, Kuantan. Okay, about the next slide and the last about the area Neolithic period. The Museum of Sultan Abu Bakar found stone briquette, fragment of earthenware, tumbling knife, bark bracelet, and sharp stone fragment. Okay, the next question about the generation young to appreciate the item history. Okay, for me, in my opinion, I think you must to apply the value of a love of the homeland. For example, telling the history of the struggle of our ancestors and the war that to place between the Malay to fight for the property right of the Malays. Okay, but for that, it also introduces equipment used in the past before the advance of a modern technology today. This is not that they can appreciate the collection of ethnic item that exists in our country. And lastly, finally, this is my opinion. I think for the school, okay, the school can teach the young generation in the subject of history to further expose our the culture heritage to the ears of today's society. Okay, this all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Noshafika, for good explanation. Most people in Malaysia, especially young generation, do not know the objective used in the past. With the existence of the museum can give them enlightenment about the object used in the past instead faham dan rumah more. Next, I'd like to ask Akmal or Azrin, how are historical tourist attraction promoted in Malaysia?
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Akmal Razim binti Ahmad. For today, I will discussion and specification about how are historical tourist attraction promoted in Malaysia. Firstly, increase and boost tourism activity, such as introducing interesting tourist destination, carnivals, sales or culture of racial and ethnic cultures. With this activity, it can also introduce the royal life at the Museum of the Sultan Abu Bakar. The next point is the widespread through the internet. It can also attract tourists to historical places. This method can also make tourists will get accurate information on activity and tourist destination in Malaysia. Okay, and lastly, the production of film on costume and historical place. For example, film related to history are screened and watched by all walks of life. With this production, will be able to hold promotion for tourist attraction to do travel activity in historical place with friends and families.
Okay. Thank you, Akmal and Azri. Last but not least, Akmal and Azri, may I ask, why is important to protect archaeology site?
Okay, the importance of protecting archaeology site is as strong evidence of historical event. For example, the archaeology site of the Bachelor Valley is evidence of the beginning of a very intimate relationship with maritime trade activities between several countries in Asia, China, and India. Secondly, source of research and education, that is a variety of knowledge that can be learned by understanding and studying through research can be found artifacts that have long been available. Thirdly, archaeology sites can be used as tourism products. For example, the archaeology site at the Sultan Abu Bakar Museum can attract tourists to travel to historical areas by displaying famous antiques or royal items in ancient times. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, Akmal and Azri, for the information. Yes, it appeared to be an excellent idea. Okay, thank you all the three panel for spending time with us to share their opinion. Based on the above description, we can see here that the existence of museum in our country is very important in giving awareness to our society about the existence of our country heritage story. Therefore, we must work together to ensure that the sustainability of our history continue to remain untouched. By time. Thank you all for your time to spend with us. And next time we will meet again. And bye bye.